I think right now when I was taking the loan assets from SBI or any other Indian bank, it does feel like a big amount. But I think that's a very risky. You think it's risky as such, but when you come here and start working, it won't be that hard, I feel.
So, hi Kaushik, welcome to Yocket Connect series. The very first question that I have to you is I want to understand your background, right? So, can you let me know what have you done in your bachelor's, which course are you pursuing in your master's, and what are you currently doing?
Oh, yeah. Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, my name is Kaushik. I did my bachelor's back in Amrita University in Coimbatore. So I did most of my bachelor's in electronics and communications. Then immediately after doing bachelor's, I moved to do master's here at University of Buffalo. I don't know if you're able to see this, but yeah. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. I think I moved around in in August of 2016, I guess. So yes, and I've been pursuing. I did my master's again in communications. So it's like specializing more in that field as such. And then after that, I'm right now working in at Qualcomm as a telecommunication engineer. So that's what I've been doing right now.
That's great. How soon did you land a job in Qualcomm after your graduation?
Yes, that's a bit tricky one. So what happened was after I graduated, then I think then there was this new government which came in, and they were not really hiring people who just graduated from masters as such. And being in communications has a bit of that issue, unlike VLSA side of electronics. So it was a bit hard to find jobs as such, but it took me about 6 to 7 months as such. It was a bit hard at that time, but now it's looking much good because I think Apple and then even Samsung and Google is trying to come up with its own modem as such. So there are a lot of companies which are coming into this modem business. So right now it looks really good, but yeah, that time it was a bit hard. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, okay. So I'll just take you back a little bit to the university part of it. I want to understand, was US your first choice for this course, or you'd also consider other countries for the same?
Yeah, I did consider just a couple of them. First, I was thinking about Australia as such, but I was not really sure how Australia was in electronics and communication. They said it was too much into networking, so that was not what I was into. So I just dropped that. And then I did apply to a couple of them in England. But yeah, I just got some rejects. And then mostly English was my major concern because most of the other universities in Germany or France, they wanted either you to learn or understand German or French a bit. Which at that time I was not ready for that. So yeah, most of it was in England and US.
All right, okay. And how many admits did you receive?
I just applied for about 7, and then I got about three of them. So yeah.
Okay, can you recall which 3 were these?
I remember there was this University of Cincinnati. At Cincinnati, there's one, and then there was one in. I remember, I think it was in Florida, I guess. I don't remember which university that was, and then at University at Buffalo.
All right. Yeah. I asked that question because I wanted to understand what was the thought process behind choosing Buffalo over the other universities.
One thing was a monetary thing as such, because and also University of Cincinnati does not have like a complete master's program. So it's about 3 to 4 semesters is what master's is, but Cincinnati has this 1-year program, and if you are interested, you can just continue to like the next semester as such. But I was not sure about the program at that time, so I just dropped that. And UB has like a pretty it's not too costly as such, and they had like a lot of other options for part-time and all. So I thought, okay, that was
great. I think you touched upon a very good topic, which is on the cost and the funding factor, right? So we'll first talk about the fees. I want to understand what were the fees like at the university, and how did you go ahead with the funding option? Which was the funding option that you went for?
So yeah, I think funding option was from the bank. I think SBI has some really good options for us as students. I think right now when I was taking the loan assets from SBI or any other Indian bank, it does feel like a big amount, but I think it's that's a very risky. You think it's risky as such, but when you come here and start working, it won't be that hard. I feel it's not that hard to actually repay the loan as such. But yeah, I think it was most of the fees was covered by the loan as such. So yeah, that was my whole funding.
Okay. Now that you have also touched upon the point of, it does seem like a big amount whenever you go to study for your MS in the US. So I want to ask, how soon do students repay the education loan once they complete the graduation?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it depends, because some people do like to spend it's if it's the first job like what I had, it's like the first intention is to just buy everything possible. So if that's not, if you're a little calculative, I think it'll take about 6 to 10 months as such. Based on right now, I think states like California or Oregon or Seattle, they kind of offer really good salaries for us, for engineers, like in any fields actually. I mean, if you're either in electronics or even in computer science. So yeah, I think it'll take about 6 months to a year max.
Can you also tell me the range of your monthly living expenses?
So I was in Buffalo. So Buffalo is kind of cheaper city. So it depends on cities to city. So Buffalo is kind of laid back and cheap. So
Okay.
rent was about $300, and then I think just going around, going out and here and there, and then with everything, it comes out to I think $500 to $600 a month,
Mhm.
which is not bad. I mean, we had part-time jobs there, so it's like we have a lot. Much higher in California right now. I think it's about $1,000, like normal. So
Okay.
I don't know how it is at university, but just outside university, I just stay close to the university as such. And I pay $1,000. I mean, it's crazy. It's like 3 times I've been paying than how much I used to pay the students. So yeah.
Right. That brings me to another question. What were your personal scores like, the GRE score, GPA score, when you got an admit into University of Sunny Buffalo?
Yeah. So I had a GRE score of 310 and GPA of 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
But I would definitely say that do not. I would say, like, to people who may or may not achieve that score as such, I would say, like, don't be afraid of that, because it really doesn't matter on what GRE score you have. It does matter on your TOEFL a bit, and GRE has that out of 5. I think they have a writing skill. Like, what's the name of that? They have a
AWA.
Yeah, AWA. Yes. So I think you have to do good in that. If you are good in that, I think universities like UB or any of the state university, right? They're really happy to take you as such. So yeah, I think focus should be more on
So
that.
you said TOEFL does matter. What was
Yes.
your TOEFL score?
I had about, I think, 95. So that's not too high, but yes, I could manage that.
But apart from this, what are the other things that you would suggest students should research about when they are making the decision?
I would say, I mean, if you are, I don't want to sound cliche as such, but if you are from southern parts of the country, India, I would definitely say go to places where it's just kind of a bit warm as such, because it gets really cold in Buffalo as such. So I would say weather is something you have to really look at. And the first semester for anybody who's coming to do masters is very hard. At least I felt, and most of my friends felt that, because it's a new place, and sometimes your language may not be able, like, you may not be able to communicate your idea perfectly. So it takes time to get used to it. So I would definitely suggest to go to a place where there are people as such, like people who are doing masters or people from our country as such. There are places like Urbana-Champaign in Indiana, I guess. So I'm not really sure. It's a very good university as such, but I'm not really sure how many people are there as such as Indians. So those kind of places are kind of a bit tricky. I would definitely say the location does play a part, like maybe New York or California or Texas or Florida, Georgia. So these are the kind of places where you have a lot of Indian community as such. So definitely, yeah, that is one part. Yeah, I'd say.
What are the fun stuff that you do around over there?
So most of the times, all these state universities, they do have kind of every weekend they do kind of have some activities planned. They have like scavenger hunt or some random activity goes on always. So you may not be able to participate in all of that, but definitely there are like some really good events happening. I mean, I don't know what happened in the last 2 years because it is COVID, but previously we used to have like all these events like the fairs, where they're like $5-10 tickets, and it's very it's fun to do that. And then every university have like college football, so it's like all through the year. So college football is something which is really good. So I think I got used to NFL now. So after watching college football, so that is something I used to do. So those are some fun things. I mean, it's time pass, yeah.
So, how easy or difficult is it to find a part-time job? And apart from the part-time jobs as well, can you also find any assistantships or internships on the campus?
Yeah, so for assistantship, like if you are talking about assistantship, right? So you can either get it through if you are a master's, if you are a thesis student. So some it's again university to university basis. Like UB doesn't do a like assistance program for any person who is doing thesis like or a master's program. It only gives all these jobs for like all this research assistant or a teaching assistant to people who are doing PhD. So, but at Arizona University, right? So my friend got a RA, or I think he got RA or T. I don't remember exactly during his masters. So that was possible during his second semester. So it depends on university to university. So I would not suggest you to take like too much pressure in that. Like if you get it, it's great. I mean, you just work at your desk. If not, I think there are always jobs, part-time jobs like library. There's always library to do, and then there's also a lot of what do you call this culinary places or this restaurants. Like so many of them are there. So I think you can get some jobs here or there. So it should be fine.